Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TW Local to Global. We're here on this September 29th, 1997 episode of Fuel. We're starting off on the pre-show with a four-way tag match. We've got All Out Assault, the team of Chaos, Dynamite, Van Hammer, facing off against the Godwins, Henry and Phineas. The Trust Fund, Reginald Scott Riggs and Bartholomew Bucklestone. And then we've got the Latino World Order of Juventud and Aguia. And the LWO get the win here. Just a little match just to get these guys some experience, get them some improvement in the ring. And it gets a 68, so not too bad on the pre-show. Kaz Hayashi versus Super Kalo is up next. And Kalo gets the victory over Kaz Hayashi. Again, not too bad. We'll take it. Goldberg gets another pre-show match on GCW. He made his pre-show debut last week, and now he's going to keep making appearances. We're just borrowing him. He's still working for Rival Bro, but he's just making one-off appearances. So 48 right here. Owen Hart gets a win over Kendall Windham, also on the pre-show, just getting Owen ready for his return. That's going to be happening probably in November, around there. So 70. And then pre-show main event, Shane Douglas versus Raven. Shane Douglas gets the win with the pile driver. So 75. We're starting off the show with Brian Pillman cutting a promo, and Candido and Jericho end up coming out, and Booker T ends up backing up Brian Pillman. So this storyline is going to keep going, Booker and Pillman versus Candido and Jericho. So this gets a 70. We're opening the show with Eddie Guerrero and Farouk. Just go ahead, guys, have 13 minutes, have fun, put on a classic, and they did not disappoint. Gets an 86, and Eddie gets the win with a frog splash. This should be a good show. We've got some pretty good matches. So 86 will take it. We got a brawl backstage. Perry Saturn and Shane Douglas, they're continuing their little mini feud. It's not going to go until Halloween Hell, but it's going to be like a little filler feud. So it gets a 70, so that's pretty good. Alright, we've got the Texas Whippers cutting a promo. It's Bobby Duncombe Jr., Adrian Adonis, and the Godwins. And Bobby Duncombe Sr. is also there accompanying Bobby Duncombe Jr. And Chris Benoit and Dustin Rhodes end up coming out. And we're going to see on Ignition Dustin Rhodes versus Adrian Adonis. So this gets a 49. Godfather and Road Dogg is up next. Godfather gets the win over the Road Dogg with a scoop power slam after interference from Triple H. So this gets a 65. And afterwards, we got a brawl. The New Age Outlaws brawling with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Backstage with Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio. The Cruiserweight Champion, Billy Kidman, is with one of the number one contenders. He's not the number one contender. I believe Chavo is probably the number one contender at this point. Anyway, they form the Filthy Animals. They're going to team up together from now on. And, yeah, Filthy Animals are here in GCW. So 56. Kane gets a win over Ahmed Johnson up next. And 94 for Kane. Good job. So, Tombstone gets the win. Gets a 70. And afterwards, Jesse Ventura tells him, you know what, Kane, you're not done. I want you to tombstone Ahmed another time. So he does it, and then another time, and then another one, and then Steve Blackman ends up coming out because that's his tag team partner. You know, you can't beat up Johnson. So Blackman comes out. He's ready to square up to Kane. Runs at him, and Kane, grabs him around the neck, hits him with a choke slam, and leaves the ring. So doing Jesse Ventura's bidding, but he's kind of reluctant to do so. But he kind of he's forced to do it, else he's going to be sent to the asylum. So gets an 88. And we're moving on. We got a 3-on-3 tag match here. Rikishi teaming with Too Cool, of course. So Too Cool gets the win over Bradshaw and Al Lowe after Bradshaw turns on Al Snow and, hits him with a clothesline, which leaves him prone for Rikishi to hit the Rikishi driver. So Al Snow's gimmick is getting stale, but Bradshaw, this is the main takeaway from this match. Bradshaw turns on Al Snow and D'Lo Brown, costing them the match. And Al Snow's in the gimmick, so we're going to have to fix that. And then Too Cool dance a little bit, as they usually do, so 49. And there we go. We got Steve Austin, who is the figurehead of the company. He is fully established in the role, and he is having a positive impact on GCW. I believe attendances are up 6% when he's here, and merchandise is like 20% more. So, Steve Austin cuts a promo. Dude Love ends up coming out, and he says, Austin, I have found another partner for War Games. And he introduces Diamond Dallas Page. So now the team for War Games. Syndicate's got Kane, Show Rock, so Big Show and Ken Shamrock. Got Taz, and they've got The Rock, the GCW champion. And Team JJ Dillon has team captain Steve Austin, Dude Love, Sting, and now Diamond Dallas Page. So we're missing one member for Team Austin, and you can probably assume who it's going to be. So this gets a 99. And then main event, Satoshi Kojima and Dean Malenko. Go ahead, have fun, have a good match. And they do that. 84, hits him with a Koji cutter, and Kojima gets the win. 89, we're going to be happy with that. We got no problems with that. Popularity goes up. All is good in the world. We've got one more show to book. We've got the September 30th Ignition. So I'll be right back with that in just one moment. Alright, we are here on Ignition, Tuesday, September 30th, 1997, Ignition number 5. We're starting off with Dustin Rhodes versus Adrian Adonis. And this is our car crash match. Gets an 80, which I'm actually kind of happy with. I did not expect an 80 with Adrian Adonis. I know Dustin is capable of it, obviously, but Adonis gets a 41 here. So, yeah, I don't know why I'm pushing them, but I am. So this gets an 80. We'll take it. Afterwards, we got the beatdown. It's the Texas Whippers beating down Dustin Rhodes. Chris Benoit comes out. He gets taken care of. The Godwins handcuff him to the bottom rope, and now Chris Benoit is forced to watch as Duncombe, Adonis, and the Godwins whip Dustin Rhodes with their belts. And then at the end, Bobby Duncombe tells Adrian Adonis, go grab a chair, so he does that, brings the chair into the ring, and Bobby Duncombe pile drives Dustin Rhodes onto the chair. So gets us 46. Not that great. We got Shane Douglas cutting a promo, and Perry Saturn ends up coming out. You know, they've been having their problems for the past 2 weeks, and they're going to settle in on Fuel. So Perry Saturn versus Shane Douglas one more time next Monday. So this gets a 62. Eddie's gimmick is getting stale. That's unfortunate. We're going to mark that down. Anyway, we've got Eddie Guerrero versus The Godfather. It's a nothing match. There's nothing on the line. It's just, you know, two guys were looking at pushing, especially Eddie, after the brand split. But Eddie gets the win with that frog splash. Another car crash match right here. Gets a 70, and we'll take that. We got Gene Okerlund interviewing Al Snow and his new gimmick. Another pour. That's unfortunate. Gene interviews Al Snow and D'Lo Brown on Bradshaw, you know, betraying them and costing them the match last night or 3 nights ago, because this airs on Thursday. And yeah, you know, Al Snow is going to face Bradshaw on Fuel next week and try to right those wrongs. Gets a 49. Got DX cutting a promo, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H come out. It's going to be Road Dogg versus Triple H in the main event tonight. So gets a 68. Chris Candido and Booker T go at it. Booker T gets the win with the Harlem Hangover in 10:56. They have pretty good chemistry, so 76 right there. We'll take that. Syndicate's getting a promo, and Steve Austin ends up coming out. We've got a big announcement here. And, you know, Austin says, you know what? How about this? Next week on Ignition, so October 7th, which is the event, so next episode, we're going to see 5 singles matches on Ignition. It's going to be the members of Team Syndicate versus the members of Team Austin. And the team that gets the most wins will get the advantage at War Games. So an 84. And then main event, Triple H and Road Dogg. This is better than I expected. Triple H gets the win with the pedigree. And afterwards, we've got a beatdown. DX beats down Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Gets a 78. We'll take it. It wasn't that great of a show, to be honest. The next week's show is going to be much better with the 5 singles matches. It's going to be big matches, too. It's going to be Steve Austin and Taz, Diamond Dallas Page, Ken Shamrock, The Rock versus Dude Love, non-title. Big Show versus the other member of Team Austin, who hasn't been revealed but will be revealed on Fuel next episode. And Sting versus Kane. So next episode should be very good on Ignition. And Owen Hart has officially left Rival Pro. That's unfortunate. But you know what? Had to happen. And Ron Killing's the manager without, which is amazing because he's not supposed to be a manager. So we've got Being right here. Thrill Seekers. All's good in Rival Pro. Made a profit. That's great. Let's see what's going on in GCW. Larry Hennig is getting signed. He's another road agent for us after the brand split. J Sports is expiring. USA, we finished first. That's great. So J Sports, let's go check that out. Let's go fix that. So that's for pay-per-view in Japan. So medium. Let's see if we can get a better deal. So yes, it's going to be cable pay-per-view in Japan. So that's the one we're currently with. J Remote is small. So WoW would actually be better. Alright, low risk. Medium risk. We'll take WoW. So new deal for events. Let's go 12 episodes. Can we get primetime? We can get primetime. Alright. New deal for pay-per-view, which is going to get us better pay-per-view results. So we're happy with that. And made $1 million because tax is a pain in the ass. And why is miscellaneous so high? I don't get it. I don't understand the revenue breakdown in TW. I still don't. Let's go check the rookie list. Alright, let's go check that out. And I'm pretty sure Michael Cole comes in November, so I don't have to check for him right now. I'll check for him when he's supposed to come in. Anybody here that I'm interested in? Horseshoe, alright. Future Luther Reigns, of course, Horseshoe. Lodi. Nick Dinsmore. Eugene. We're going to shortlist Eugene. I like Nick Dinsmore. Scott Vick. I also like Scott Vick. He's alright. Is he good? Not really, but he'd make a good jobber. So we're gonna shortlist him. Yeah, not much to say about that. Any women? Molly Holly's still there. What about non-wrestlers? Or status? Non-wrestler. So referees, of course, we're not too interested in referees. Chastity. She's not on my short list. Oh, that's supposed to be a rookie list. There we go, much better. Yeah, Deborah's there. Don't really want Deborah. Mike Tyson. We're probably going to bring in Mike Tyson. We're going to do exactly what they did at WrestleMania 14. We're going to bring in Mike Tyson to main event, to referee the main event at Revolution, probably. If I can't get Mike Tyson, I'll get like Dennis Rodman or some shit. Karl Malone, maybe. Regardless, thank you guys for watching this episode of GCW. Make sure, if you like this video, subscribe if you want more. We'll see you guys in the next one. So until then, have a good one. Goodbye.